Do you miss the free and affordable ads and social networks without all of the anti-sex rhetoric?
Assembly 4 is a team of sex workers and technologists from Melbourne, Australia, aiming to bring back free and fair advertising and social spaces to the sex working community.
Stepping away from the clunky design of traditional platforms, their two products, Tryst.link and Switter.at, are refreshing and well-needed changes in both presentation and mission.
And both are free to join and open to all.
You can find both of our profiles on Tryst, and I love how it is so clearly designed by sex workers.
Yep, and I love how straightforward and easy it is to use and how much they clearly support the sex working community.
And also how responsive they are when it comes to feedback and customer service.
Check out their website assembly4.com for the word, not the number, for more info.
Welcome to Somebody You Love, or The Sale of Two Titties. I'm Jenna Love.
And I'm Holly Hart.
And we're experts in disappointing our parents, breaching community guidelines, and banging the people who vote against our rights. First of all, we would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land from which we are recording. Today, we are both on the land of the Ngunnawal people. We acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded. This land always was and always will be Aboriginal land.
Today, we are going to have a very chaotic episode, potentially. There's limited confidence in this one, but hopefully it's entertaining.
Limited preparation time.
Limited preparation, but we're hoping that we can fly by the seat of our reindeer. So we're doing a Christmas vibe today.
Yeah, a little holiday special.
Bit of inclusive party. Yeah.
Yeah, basically we've been together for a couple of days now, which is really exciting because we haven't done that for months and months and months. We haven't been able to. This is the third episode that we're recording in the space of about 24 hours. So we've gotten a little bit loopy and we just thought, fuck it, we'll just talk about some vaguely holiday, Christmas related shit. So here you go.
Nice to do something a little bit more lighthearted and a little bit more loosey-goosey.
Yeah, like my pussy.
I don't think it's loose. I know it's not.
So first up, what we thought might be a good idea is like a holiday Christmas. Sorry, I'm too PC, I know. But it's like a gift-giving guide.
Yeah.
It's because I'm a raging atheist, so I'm not really into Christmas. But a gift-giving guide, a sexy gift-giving guide.
Yeah, just having a bit of a chat about some gifts that we think are really cool or some things that we recommend, basically. Yeah.
So we thought, what about if you want to give your partner or a sex worker or yourself a little sexy treat? Do we have like recommendations of our favourite toys?
Definitely. I think, this could be sort of last minute for a lot of people. Maybe you're in that position where you do need something last minute as a gift, or maybe you're going to get it in the Christmas, what do you call it, Boxing Day sales? That could be cool as well.
Yeah.
So, look, my two favourite toys this year, which, my clients have probably heard me rave about a fair bit, are the Enjoy Pure Wand, which is the big steel bar that really effectively makes me squirt. I highly recommend it. A lot of my clients will know that this year was my squirting journey. I don't do it with every breath I take like Jenna does. So, the couch is soaking wet at the moment. We've got Mr. Love mopping up around our feet. So I went on a bit of a journey to see if I could reliably have that effect, and it was.
Is it heavy? Is that one of those really heavy ones?
It's fucking heavy.
Yeah.
I should have brought it with me today but we'll link it and people can look it up. I definitely wouldn't say it's a beginner's tool. I would say this is a tool for maybe an escort that already really enjoys vaginal stimulation, or G-spot stimulation, or even prostate stimulation. I hear it's wonderful for the P-spot.
Does it have two different ends?
It has a larger and a smaller.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's very heavy, very effective. If you have wrist problems, I probably wouldn't recommend it because it really is heavy to hold, especially while you're trying to get in that mood and in that angle. But I would say that is a wonderful tool. It is a little bit on the pricey side, but fantastic. Love that toy. I'm going to just jump straight into my second recommendation.
Sure, go for it.
This year I have fallen in love with the Vush Abbey. So that's it's basically meant to be an internal vibrator designed by Abby Chatfield in collaboration with Vush. Again, I'll provide a link or some details about it. This is a more affordable one, and it's really, really cute. It's designed to be gender inclusive. It's much lighter, so it's wonderful, again, if you're on a budget or if you have wrist injuries, so it's a bit more of a, family-friendly toy or a people-pleaser toy. But yeah, again, another great one for squirting, and I just find it really satisfying. This one vibrates. It's got a magnetic charger. Packaging is all really cute, and yeah, I think it's a really, really great brand. So that's I own both of those toys, so I'm not, angling for anyone to get them for me. But definitely, if you have a sex worker or a partner in your life who is into those sorts of vibrators or toys, they would be my recommendations. Or even for yourself, again, if you are a vagina owner or an anus owner who is listening, you may find them practical for yourself. So
it's not ableist for us to assume that everyone listening either has at least a vagina or an anus, right?
Well, no, it actually may be, because
are there
at the
people
moment,
who don't have either of those things?
Well, at the moment, one of my clients has had to have a Hartmann's procedure, and doesn't actually able to put anything inside their anus.
Still has one though.
It has an anus, but there's not much room
there
to put anything in there.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe down the track when they've healed up, they can look into that. But I think they've got quite a collection of toys
sorted.
in my experience. Yeah. But there's a lot of people. What they call Barbie butts when they've had it all sort of sewed up down there and everything sort of
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
no, that's a good point. Not everyone.
Very ableist.
Cool.
Very ableist.
No, well, I'm glad to have learnt that. I'm really not a big toys person. Like I'm really a fan of like manual stimulation and just
your hands.
Bodies. Yeah, hands.
Yeah.
Like, and other people's hands.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't until a few years ago that I actually found a toy that did anything for me.
Wow.
And that was just a magic wand, basically. The one I use is Le Wand, LEWAND.
Yeah, I always recommend a wand. You've got to have a wand in your collection.
I think so. That's the only thing that I really like. And I guess I do really like it because I have two. I have one that stays in my suitcase and one that stays by the bed.
I was going to say, the reason that they're so wonderful is because they're usually an external toy and they're really rumbly, and you can just put them up against your clit and just come for days.
Well, up until a few years ago when I discovered that, I'd never found enjoyment from vibration like that. I always found that too, like deep, like I prefer a manual thing, like something that a hand can do. But anyway, I quite like it. And I like the Le Wand. I really like it. It's quite heavy. And the reason I bought that one was because a client bought one with him, and he bought it into the booking, put a condom on it, obviously. And because it's a battery operated, but you charge it up, so you can use it plugged in or not. And he pulled it out, and I thought, if it's battery operated, it's not going to be very powerful. Like I thought, no, we need this plugged into the wall, baby.
You need
come on,
mains powered fanny hammer.
Yeah. I was like, have you got 3-phase power here? Like, but it was really fucking. I was like, whoa, okay. So I literally, when he left, I went online and ordered one for myself.
Wow.
Really, really good. So it's essentially like if you've heard of a Hitachi magic wand, which or Hitachi massager.
Yeah.
That's the kind of the OG.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different ones out there. I know a lot of people like Doxies. There's other brands, and I should mention we are not sponsored for any of this. No, this is just our own.
But they should be sponsoring us.
Probably. Frankly, who not many other people will. But anyway, so that's my go-to. So if you don't have a wand, then I would be giving that a go. I use it on clients who have penises a lot. I use it on a partner of mine who has a penis. He really enjoys having that used on him. So it's certainly not only for vulva owners.
What about it was different? Like, how come before that you hadn't been really into any sort of toy, and that one?
I think the strength is a big part of it. That it's powerful.
Wow.
And I think it's, for me, like toys, I often just feel like it's just fucking around. Like I'd rather just get to it. Like sometimes I just feel like there's all this stuff. You've got to charge them up. You've got to put certain, like, oh my God. And I've got so many toys because so many clients have bought toys for me, and a lot of my clients like me to use toys on them or on me. And they've all got different adapters and think like, oh my God, it's just such hassle. And I guess because I'm somebody who's so orgasmic and stuff, like I shouldn't say need, but I've never needed anything extra.
It's all felt a bit superfluous.
Yeah, but I will say something that I invested in this year, it wasn't even a big investment, it wasn't very expensive, was a set of cuffs for my bed. just like I don't know if that's the right word I'm using. So permanently in my workroom, I have, these cuffs. So there's 4 of them. There's one on every corner of the bed. And the ones I've got are just Velcro. So they're nothing, it's not fully restrained or anything. You can pretty easily get out from it. But it's just it's really great to have it on the bed already. Because if somebody says to me, oh, I'd love to try being tied up or something, I'm just like, well, what, and I just like tie them up and they're just like done. And I've been enjoying playing with that. And I think that that's a really nice like entry level thing into bondage.
That is cool. I like that.
Because it's very, it's very kind of light. They can get out easily. You can just rip the Velcro open. You don't have to worry about cutting rope or whatever. And you can do really light stuff. Like I've got a client I've been doing a lot of experimenting with, and we've been doing things like I blindfold him, tie him up, and then things like just literally running feathers over him. I'll go and get a cube of ice from my freezer and do like a bit of a hot and cold blowjob thing. He's been wanting to try like candle wax. I've been dripping candle wax on him. Just all these little it's nothing hardcore, but I think it might be something that if you want to explore something a bit more out there, but you're not, hardcore. I think something like that's a pretty fun idea.
Yeah, that's cool. I've been looking into those, what do they call it, like under mattress?
That's what it is.
It is.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
That's what it is.
See,
that's,
yeah.
I couldn't work out how to explain it.
No, yeah. That's I think
and it wasn't
really
very
practical.
expensive.
No, they seem
because I didn't, I didn't get. I'm sure you can get really, high-end ones and all that. And I do have some nice bondage equipment. But for what I need it for, it's quite handy. Although that being said, I did go to my boyfriend's just moved out to a new place and got a new bed. And I went there the other day. And the first thing I noticed in the bedroom was that he had screwed carabiners into all the corners of the bed. So that's another option. You could just make your own restraints attached to the bed. Yeah,
that's not going to shock anyone in the household. If you're still living with your parents and they come and make your bed,
maybe.
Well, that could be very awkward.
Yeah.
Another thing I would recommend, actually, just popped into my head, a lovely fellow worker actually gave me as a gift once, and the brand itself is very expensive. You don't have to commit to this brand, but the Liberator brand, one of those, it's like a heart-shaped wedge, and that's really perfect for often rimming and things like that. So you can just slide it under and get into it. And
maybe I'll get one.
I can't tell you how practical it is. I use it particularly with one client, and I try not to use it with every client because it's a bit of a nuisance to get the thing off and wash it, go through that whole process every time. But it's very firm, and so it really helps you get into positions. And when you sort of say a wedge for sex, it sounds really like, it's a bit cumbersome, but it actually really does help you get into all the angles that you need. And
I have thought about that a number of times and never bitten the bullet, and I'm going to do it now.
I really like it.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a wonderful one.
Just thought of something else, actually. Look at me being like, I don't like toys, and then I've got all these ideas. So anyone who has listened to the show before knows that I'm a squirter, and it's a whole thing. It monopolises my whole bloody life. I've always got rubber sheets and that. But I recently discovered that you can also buy rubber, or they're not rubber, they're vinyl or whatever. There's a whole range of different materials they can use. Pillowcases.
Oh, wonderful.
So I've got those for my bed at home, because what I find a lot is a lot of guys want me to sit on their face and squirt all over them, but they want a pillow under their head. And I'm like, lovely, but I don't want to squirt I don't want to put fluids all in a pillow. So now I have, the mattress is protected by, I've got this big fitted rubber mattress protector, and then my pillows have that, and I just put a normal pillowcase on top of it. So it looks like, actually it's quite comfortable. It's quite
like
nice.
Rubber or vinyl. It's not like crinkly.
No, it's not crinkly. It's actually quite comfortable.
Modern technology.
So now my pillows are protected as well. So I feel good about that. So I don't know, if you're somebody who encounters fluids in the bedroom, or maybe you've got a kid who wets the bed, I don't know. I'm just letting you know.
Wets the pillow.
Wets the pillow. Well, sometimes kids end up upside down in bed.
That's relatively...
just letting you know that you can get pillowcase protector thingies, pillow protectors. Yeah.
It's a few really cool ideas. I've got a non-sexual gift idea, which I just have to spruik because I know...
Non-sexual?
And this is going to be a really weird one, but I'm just going to throw it out there. One of the best gifts that I've received in the past however many years, people are just going to shake their heads at me because I'm such a dag, but actually it was the Barefoot Investor book. A lot of people who know me know that I don't come from a wealthy background at all, and I have never been good at managing money. About 3 or 4 years ago, somebody gifted me the Barefoot Investor book, and that, along with a few other things.
Was that like an insulting gift?
No.
Were they like, babe, you need this?
No, it's just like, oh, I've heard this is super popular. It sold millions of copies. People love it. It's really, take it or leave it. And it's not my sort of thing. I'm not an investment. That's never been my, I don't know, I don't care, like money, whatever. But it really helped me. Things like I had 7 superannuation accounts. I had a credit card. It was only a $3,000 credit card that was just continually maxed out. I never, paid my bills in advance. I never organised myself, basically. And it is a privileged thing that I am in that position to have been able to. But it really helped me just sort of get my ducks in order. And it's a really simple way to, look, it might not make you rich, but it will help you to sort of maximise your comfort or that for somebody else that you know who maybe has some goals and you want to help them achieve. So maybe not necessarily a worker. I don't know if that would be condescending if someone gave
I would hate that.
Yeah, but I think other people
But
in
I
your
hated
life,
that book. So
What book?
The Barefoot Investor.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Well, I don't like being told what to do.
No, fair enough.
I don't know why I bought it. I thought everyone's reading this book, so I better get it. And then I was reading it, and I was like, "Fuck off! Why are you telling me what to do?" It's stupid. My fault for buying it.
2 groups of people, aren't there? But certainly, in other areas in your life, or even for yourself, massively recommend if you want to buy yourself a Christmas gift this year. If you've just been getting really frustrated with money, or you feel like you need a little bit of a kickstart, good $30 to spend.
All right, I've got one that's non-sexual, but I feel like it's good for like romantic.
Yeah.
So it works in with that.
No, I like it.
I don't know, people know about this, but I was looking up, I wanted to do like a weekend massage class with my husband because I always need massages. So I just wanted him to get better at giving massages. Basically, like that was my reason behind it.
Lucky him, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, that would be good, but it would also be nice, like, to go together and learn. Anyway, basically, I just discovered that there is this whole world of classes. This is going to sound so stupid. People know this, don't they? Am I really stupid? I'm a little bit stupid.
I mean, I've done a massage. I went and did I'm qualified in reflexology.
That sounds silly.
It's pseudoscientific, but it's foot massage, and that's really
Okay.
really
That's
nice to be
fair
able to give someone
enough.
a really good foot massage.
Yeah. Well, so I thought it would be useful for me for work if I actually... Because people often be like, can you give me a massage? I'm like, sure, but I might break something.
Yeah. I don't do that. Like, I strictly ruled it out of my services. I was like, no, I'm not your subservient. I'm not going to rub you. Like, go and get a massage. I'm here to touch your dick.
Yeah, my only fear is I'd injure them because I don't know what I'm fucking doing,
I should bring it back. If you see this and you're going to book me, if you want a massage, just let me know. I'm happy to actually rub you. I don't know why I decided not to do it for a few years. I was just being a bit spoilt.
That's okay.
Yeah. I don't know, I just
be
was like,
spoiled.
but I don't mind. I like touching people. I don't know why I decided I was suddenly above massage.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so classes.
I don't know. Yeah, I just saw, and there's all the there's just so many different classes you can do, like cupcake making or learning a certain. There's lots of cooking ones, and actually, I asked my mum to get me some of those for Christmas for me and Mr. Love because I don't know about other people, but we really love, learning stuff together and doing projects together, and I feel like it's a non-sexual gift, but you could then go home and have really great sex.
Yeah, it is. It's a bonding experience, and I think if there's anything we've learned in our job, it's that. Sex is not all that a relationship's about. There are a lot of other things that make things sexy. Like, it's not just about physicality, it's about building that.
So, doing an activity together, I guess, is what I'm getting at.
That's a cool thing.
I don't know about, you'd have to, in terms of for a worker, it would have to be on an individual basis.
Yeah.
But if a client said, would you come do a class with me? I'd be like, fuck yes. That would be mad. So, and I think it's just cool because it's, an experience rather than a product, and you can share that together.
Cool, good suggestion.
So we've talked about some good gift ideas. Have you had any terrible gifts or just
I wouldn't say
ones?
terrible, but I've definitely had some weirder gifts in my time. Look, I can't actually. I remember somebody telling me that once a client gave them a lump of coal. Do you remember that? Have you heard that?
No.
I don't know where I've heard it now, but I remember somebody saying, I don't know if it was like a joke, but anyway, it was a weird story. One of my clients once gave me, and it was really well intentioned, but it was also, I just didn't know what to do with it, a nude calendar of him and his footy team. And I'm just
so strange.
Gonna put it out there that let's just say if this was the elite, what do you call them? First grade, buff.
Okay.
I'd sort of go, I get what you're getting at. Right, I still don't think it'd be my vibe. But
was it for charity or something?
No.
Oh.
No, it was just a whole lot of sort of average dudes, just nude. it really awkward. It was not. There was nothing about it that was high quality.
I guess he was proud of it, right?
Oh, yeah, I think he thought it was funny, and I thought it was sort of funny, but I sort of was like, thanks, and I put it in a drawer. Yeah. And like 4 years later, I went, oh yeah, I should have kept it because it would be funny now. It'd be funny now. Yeah. Anyway, really nice client, and I hope he wouldn't be offended by me saying, but yeah, it was a gift that I sort of was like, yeah, What do you do? Anyway, what about you?
One in particular sticks in my mind. I was on tour, and I had this client who I can't remember if it was the second or the third time that I'd seen him. And it was just before Christmas, so he decided to get me a Christmas present. And now in these bookings, what he wanted me to do was basically like act like a dog. Like I had to put a collar on and like crawl around, and he would bring like human food but put it in a dog bowl for me to eat and stuff like that. And that's all fine. Like that's stuff I'm happy to do. Like I don't know. I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
I feel like that's really low energy for me. Like I can walk around like a dog, no worries. But it's not something that I would choose to do in my personal life, right? Just because that's not my kink. So he got me this present and he was so excited about it, and there was such build up to it because he'd ordered it online, then he ordered bits, like all these, it was just a whole thing. And he gave me this box and he said to me, I don't want you to open it while I'm here. I want you to wait until I leave to open it. And I'm trying to remember all the things he said about it. Like, he was like, you're the only person that could get this gift. And it was obviously something really designed for me, and really, and it was I was like, I'm fucking fascinated. Like, what is this? As I said, I think maybe it was the third time I'd seen him, so I didn't even know him that well. And our time together had been spent with me crawling on the floor like a dog. Like I was like, I don't really know you, Thank fuck he didn't want me to open it in front of him, because my reaction, I don't think it's what he was expecting. And he kept saying, I can't wait to see your face. Oh, you're just, like, he was so into it. So anyway, he left and I was like, what the fuck is this? So I opened this box and it's a bobblehead of someone that was supposed to be me on all fours with a collar and cuffs and everything on, bobbling their little head.
Shit.
And the bobblehead had red hair. So it was like a bondage bobblehead again. But this is the thing where I was like, he was like, it's just so you. And I was like, you are the client that wanted me to act like a dog. That's not so me. Yeah. That's not me at all. Yeah. And he was going on about how much I love doing that. And I was like, wow. Yes, because that's my job. Like, yeah, of course I'm really gleeful when I'm doing that, because that's what you've paid me to do. So it was one of those kind of disconnects where, but yeah, so bobblehead, which I just thought was hysterical. And then he had paid to get my name engraved on it. And I really feel for him, because he explained this to me. What had happened, what he got was a fucking label stuck on there. And again, this is not his doing. Like, I feel sorry for him. It was a clear label that said Jenna Love on it that had been stuck on the side of it. It was peeling off at the corners. It was like curling up. And that he paid like $100 or something for it to be engraved. So he got ripped off. Wow. So it had this sticker that was just like crappily stuck. It looked so shitty. And I thought, and obviously he'd paid for it. So I was like, I would have just taken that off. Like it really, gosh. I don't know, it wasn't good. Anyway, so then I put it in my suitcase. I was like, I guess I'm taking this bobblehead on the plane. Brought it home. And then, of course, my husband decided to put it in amusing locations around the house. And on more than one occasion, I discovered after there were already people in our home that he had put it somewhere really conspicuous. I think my sister came to stay at our house. Like, we went away for a week and she came to stay to look after our cat. And when we got home, I discovered that it was sitting right in front of the TV. Like if you turn the TV on, it would be obscuring the vision of the TV. So there's no way she wouldn't have seen it. And she would have been like, what the fuck is my kid sister? Like, why is there a bobblehead dog woman? Like, what is this? Anyway, that's all. It was just You had to be there, but it was fucking wild.
So where is it now?
I don't know. I think we must have chucked it. I think I must have chucked it.
You can't see it. It's sitting somewhere really obvious for you.
It's like on our front porch.
Yeah, he's just waiting for you to catch it.
He does have a tendency to do that. You know those dildos that you can stick like suction cup on? We often play a game of backsy forthsy with that.
That's
they
cute.
end up in each other's houses, in each other's rooms, and in each other's cars, in the fridge.
Like Elf on the Shelf.
Fun. Elf on the Shelf.
Dildo on the window.
Dick in ooh.
Yeah.
Cock on a rock.
Yeah. Bobblehead on the fridge. I don't know.
Okay, so there's our gift giving guide. Don't give people a bobblehead. It's fucking weird.
Not of themselves, or probably not in general.
No.
I'm not a bobblehead fan, and or not a calendar of. Well, look, there are a few people I wouldn't mind a nude calendar of, but generally, probably not. Just send me. No, never mind.
Cash.
Is
that? Yeah, that's what
I was going to say send me a nude pic, and I thought, I better not invite that. I could get no.
Mr. Love has been using Manscaped products for a few years now, and he swears by them. He's been using the Lawnmower 3.0, and also sometimes I steal it from his bathroom and I use it too. I'd say don't tell him, but he's editing this podcast. And yes, despite the name, the product itself is actually gender neutral.
And now we've been lucky enough to be amongst the first to try the Lawnmower 4.0. Yes, the bush is gone. Manscaped engineered the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and an incredibly comfortable grooming experience. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology.
Of course, here at Somebody You Love, we believe that you should groom or not groom your body hair however you wish. But trimming is a great option because you don't have to worry about all of the hassles that come with shaving or waxing. Like ingrowns, microcuts, that awful itching when it grows back, and also irritating the delicate skin of your lover. If you're visiting a sex worker, it's the perfect way to ensure that everything is neat and tidy, but with no breaks in the skin that can increase your risk of transmission and infection.
In time for the holiday season and sweaty, stinky summer for those of us down under, Manscaped have released the Performance Package 4.0. Inside, you'll find the signature Lawnmower 4.0, the Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver, which is anti-chafing ball deodorant, moisturiser and toner, a pair of Manscaped anti-chafing boxes, and the Weed Whacker ear and nose trimmer, which is waterproof and uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual blade system.
Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SOMEBODY at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code SOMEBODY. Heat up your sex life with Manscaped. What's our next topic?
What have we got?
Should we talk about snowballing?
What is snowballing?
That's Christmas related.
Describe it.
Okay, so generally I think it's when a person with a penis ejaculates into the mouth of somebody, and then that somebody puts it from their mouth into the penis owner's mouth, and perhaps there's back. See, that's where it stops for me. I think there's supposed to be continued back and forth. I would put your cum back in your mouth, but I don't want to keep receiving it back.
Have you done it?
Oh, yeah, heaps.
I never have.
Oh.
Never. Never.
Oh, wild. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so my tip, right?
I don't do cum in mouth,
exactly.
ever.
Yeah.
But, I have in the past, but...
Not ever.
But, with, personal lovers.
Yeah. Yeah, so, okay, my tip. So I find a lot of guys, when they're in the moment, they're like, yeah, I want you to put it back in my mouth.
Yes.
And, so it's a thing, right? But then I find, as soon as they've come...
Yes, they're like, oh, no, I don't want it.
They don't want it anymore.
Oh,
so I always do. So I'm down there, I take it in my mouth, and then I come up over... I'm going to do it to the camera. Oh. And I go, like that's the face.
You want.
And then they're either like... And I'm like, okay. Or they're like, oh, no, don't worry about it. And I'm like, okay, cool. But I always... Because I can't ask their consent while my mouth's full of cum. But I feel like you've got to have that heart. So unless it's someone you're doing it with all the time.
Yeah.
But I think snowballing, you've got to have a little eye contact consent moment. Because for a lot of guys, the idea is really hot until after they've had an orgasm.
Yeah. I've had a lot of guys say things like, I want to do this with my cum or do whatever. And then as soon as they've come, they're like, oh, please don't. Like, why,
I don't want it near me.
Why would you
What the
suggest
fuck?
that? Yeah.
You're like, well, we don't want it either. But
You said it. Okay. Cool. Interesting.
there you go.
Nice.
I mean, that's not really relevant to Australian Christmas, but
No.
it is to our friends in the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
Don't ever say we don't look after you.
Yeah, I'm going to snowball action.
Yeah.
Snowballs.
What about like Christmas dress-ups? Are you into like a Mrs. Claus moment or?
Yeah, no, I do Mr. Claus.
Oh, okay,
I like
of
the
course.
beard. I do the whole thing. I go, oh. That was a bad ho, but you get the gist.
Hot.
You know, yeah, and in fact, I like whoever I'm fucking to be the reindeer. I put a little red nose on, antlers, and I just,
Elf's not your thing?
not into elves.
Okay.
I don't. The pointy ears turn
Yeah.
off. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
really like pointed.
Okay, this just
Appendages.
in. Holly is anti-pointed ears, so if you've got pointy ears...
Yeah, go elsewhere.
Shit.
Yep. No, I've never done any Christmas dress ups.
I got to say, it is difficult for us down under because it's fucking hot.
Yeah.
And all Christmas themed things are like that white, even if it's like a little cute bikini that's like modelled off Santa Claus, which I don't know what our society is, but it'll have like the white fluffy stuff on it. And like end of December in Australia, in a lot of places in Australia, is like you don't even, like a bikini is too much clothing. So it's a bit awkward.
I did a lot of like strip events where I would be totally nude except a Santa hat, and that was cute. That was always.
But even the Santa
I know.
hats are so
It's the
sweaty.
heat.
Yeah.
I'm already a sweaty girl. It was not a good time. I also did Christmas parties. There used to be a boat out here on the lake where it was like a pirate boat. Anyone in Canberra will know what I'm talking about, where there'd be strip shows on that, and I'd wear a Santa hat for some of those.
It's like, I heard you like tacky, so I put tacky on your tacky.
Yeah, that's pretty much
that
what
is.
it was. There was two like stripper poles, and there'd be like all these flashing lights and like doof music, right, just cruising around the lake here in Canberra. And I can't remember how much the guys would pay for a party, but they'd also have a couple of staff on there who would cook a barbecue. There would be I can't explain how bizarre the barbecue was on the boat. It wasn't like a normal barbecue on a boat. It was like almost like in the water. Like it was the weirdest setup.
Oh.
I can't explain it. It was just chaotic. So they'd make this barbecue, and then like our job as like the boat strippers would be like to do a couple of little lappies and dance around and look cute. And then as lunchtime came, we'd have to like sauce up all of the sausages for the guys. It was just really weird.
Aren't they the ones providing the sauce?
I don't know. It was weird. So we just sort of, here you go, who wants a sausage? And particularly because you don't want the guys getting too pissed, you'd be like trying to feed them with sausages, and then you do some more horny dancing, and
And they tried to feed you their sausages.
they certainly tried. Yeah. But I've never been into the Christmas dress-ups. Never been into many dress-ups. I've had nurse requests, a schoolgirl thing. I can't be asked. I get the secretary thing. Secretary.
I get it heaps.
I don't own I don't own blouses. I don't own anything that really covers up my titties except really casual t-shirts.
And
Jenna
I only own things that
only
cover up my
owns,
titties.
yeah, secretary wear. So that's your woman right there.
Yeah.
If you want, bogan,
Amish secretary, though.
Kmart.
I'm very specific
Well,
with the
that's
type
what they
of
want. They
secretary.
want the woman who looks like she can't be had, but you can have her.
Yeah.
But if you want like Summer Nat's girl, then I'm it.
Yeah, I'm not into dress-ups for work, sure, no worries. I've got, nurse, schoolgirl, secretary I get heaps, teacher I get heaps. But in my personal life, I just want to be naked. I really hate the idea of like dressing up in I don't get it. I feel like an idiot. I don't know, partly it's because I do theatre stuff, so... Like, when I'm in a costume, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm playing a character. Like, it's not, like, fun, sexy shit. It's, like, it's weird.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sorry, I shouldn't say it's weird. Some people
No,
really get off on it.
your
But for me, it
vibes,
doesn't feel... Yeah.
Yeah, so no, I've never done, like, a Christmassy sort of thing. I'm always open if that's your kink.
Yeah.
But
Totally. If somebody was like, can you do Mrs. Claus role play for me? I mean, I'd have to do some Googling.
You'll be unique.
I don't really know much about it.
That would be entertaining. But yeah, I mean, don't force it. Don't do it just because we've said it now and go,
Yeah.
oh God. Cool. What else have we got?
We can talk about Christmas party things.
Oh yes,
Okay.
our naughty sexcapades, party sexcapades, Christmas sex.
Yeah, it's the festivity season.
It
People having
is.
parties. Although I don't know, I wonder if are there fewer parties now because we're all burnt from the pandemic, or is it the
I think there's
opposite?
probably
Is everyone
more.
like, fuck it, let's go?
I feel an inclination to do more. I think people I know in my sort of circles seem to be socialising a lot.
Yeah,
like really, but maybe, I don't know.
See, I thought, like, okay, so my boyfriend works in events and was telling me that there's so many, like, music festivals next year. And I was like, what? I thought we'd stamped them out forever. Obviously, he, like, likes them and was like, stop being such a cunt.
Literally his whole job.
But, yeah. But I was like, oh, man. Like, I thought the pandemic had solved everything and that I'd never have to be around more than 2 people ever again. Yeah. But apparently not. Apparently humanity is fighting back with a vengeance. So...
It's nice that you're in town to possibly go out with me and a few other people.
Yeah. That's a reasonable... That's not a festival, though. That's a reasonable amount. Like, under 20 is... I mean, it's a lot, but that's reasonable. I can handle that.
Limited amounts of time.
Yeah.
So, Christmas, sexy sex, party sex, mischief. Yeah, I don't remember having sex for Christmas or anything like that. The only incident I sort of remember, an incident sounds a bit foreboding, doesn't it? The only event or the only activity that I remember is, and again, it may not be because I didn't do anything, it may be because my memory is just terrible. But I remember having sex with one guy at his place. He lived like a couple of suburbs away from me when I was younger. And we went to his house and I vaguely recall the sex. Obviously it wasn't remarkable, but it was Christmas Eve, and I remember waking up the next morning and it was like 6 a.m. and I thought I better get home, or I was living, with my family at that point, and I thought, better arrive for Christmas, better be home for Christmas, so at least somewhere in the vicinity. And so I was walking home by myself at 6 a.m. I think I just left him asleep. A few suburbs, just quietly, Christmas morning, there was no one on the streets, there was no sound, and it was just something really calm and really cool about it, and really nice about having gotten my rocks off and had some really, a good time the night before. And, it's a nice start to a little...
That's really sweet.
It was really nice. I love sex, and it's always been an exciting thing for me, so it was really wholesome, just sort of reminiscing, on the sex that I can't remember now, but I remember that sensation.
It sounds like a scene from a movie. Like, I've got quite a lovely image in my head.
It was really, really, really nice. I went home, I think I lay down in bed for like an hour and then got up and did the Christmas thing.
Yeah, right.
Didn't let on that I'd been out all night with some bloke. Anyway, where is he now? Who knows? If you're out there, Matt.
I'm so boring. I don't think I have any, like, Christmas sex stories, but I have had some. There's a few things that pop into my mind, like holiday celebration-y kind of moments. I think it was my 28th birthday, I think. I had my first bi MMF. So,
I've never had one. Tell me more.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Are they?
They're everything. So one of my partners, my boyfriend, who I'm still with at the moment, he describes himself as heteroflexible, and his the way he sees it is basically he's into women, but to the extent where if there's a pair of tits in the room, he'll do anything, basically.
I like
So if there's a woman saying, suck that dick, he's like, I better fucking suck that dick then, It's quite good. Yeah, I'm quite a fan of it. And at the time, I had a client who was kind of transitioning into being more of a not client person I slept with, who was bi. And he was very much into the dick. And it all just sort of worked out. And I had said to this client, like, I'm seeing my boyfriend tomorrow night. It's my birthday. I don't know. It all just worked out. And I was like, do you want to come to our hotel room? And he was like, yes. And I was like, this is weird. Yeah, it is weird. Oh, well, let's do it.
It's like a porno.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wrote a blog about it. It's no longer there because I decided that I hate writing. I don't know. Every now and then I write things and I'm like, I forgot that I hate writing. Anyway, I was doing a little blog for a while and I wrote about this night on my blog. And someone shared it on one of those forums, on a sex work review forum, and all these dudes didn't believe. They thought, they were like, it sounds like she's fantasizing. And I was like, what? Like, sorry, your sex lives are so fucking boring, but mine is actually great. Anyway, it was such a great... It was a morning, actually, because he was working overnight shift and came and found us in the morning. We hadn't slept all that much and we were a bit, like, bleary-eyed and got up and I was like, hey, babe, one of my clients is here to fuck you. Like, it was pretty random.
That is really cool.
But it was so lovely. And then I think my next birthday... So we had a few after that. But I was like, wow, what a fucking gift. You legends.
Is awesome festive sex.
Yeah.
Birthday sex.
There you go, festive sex. That's a word for it. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
You said you didn't really have anything. That's a good one.
I've got another one too.
Oh, do you? Well, I'll carry on with mine.
Okay.
Look, it's very tangentially linked, but how much personal information am I going to give away here?
We've given so much.
I don't fucking care. I went to an event in 2011-ish, maybe, called the Playboy Golf event, which was hosted by Playboy, and you had to be selected to go to the Gold Coast to... Basically, look, Playboy Golf was an activity where they would sponsor a whole lot of people to go and play golf, and like a whole lot of blokes, really, to go and play golf. And if you won the golfing contest, you'd get a trip to the Playboy Mansion. This is obviously still when Playboy was a really big thing and when Hef was still alive.
Is he dead?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'm clueless.
And you know...
I kind of thought he never would die. Like, I just sort of thought he was just a staple of life.
Yeah, he was a scumbag. I mean, he was a really shitty human being, but he definitely did a lot of... good things for certain parts of sexuality, I suppose, but bad things for a lot of women. So, you know, controversial individual. But back to the point. So, yeah, this golf tournament, basically, they'd have on the Gold Coast at... no, I don't really know where. God, I can't even remember. Couldn't tell you. So as part of that, they'd have a whole lot of babes on the golf course, and they'd all stand around at each tee, and we'd give drinks, and we'd, wear little tiny outfits and just be tarty, and we would compete, basically. So you'd have to try and flirt and bond with all of the guys who were playing golf, and at the end of the tournament, they would vote, and whoever won got to go to the Playboy Mansion and, potentially, who knows, become one of Hef's girlfriends. Oh, that was the goal.
This is so bizarre.
Yeah, I've led an interesting life.
We've led different lives.
We have, haven't we?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was accepted, which was massive at the time. That was a really big honour. And so I had to pay for my flights, but they supplied, we got to stay at, what's that hotel, the fancy one on the Gold Coast? Oh, Jupiter's Casino. So we had to stay in the casino with a bunch of other ladies, and before we went, we got to meet each other online, and it was really cool. We all sort of became, little bad buddies, and they gave us a pack full of, free bikinis and outfits and stuff, and then we also could book, a hair and makeup artist and tan lady and all this sort of stuff. So we had a whole team, I think, there must have been 60 to 80 girls. There was a lot of babes from around Australia. It's just super hot women everywhere. This story's going on for ages, but hopefully you're enjoying it. So over the course of the event, I think there was a lot of shenanigans. It was pretty chaotic. There was not any drinking or drugs or anything. Well, I mean, I'm sure there was, but not to any wild extent. But on the last day, we had a finale party. So we all were given free drink passes and free admission to this party. All of the guys from the golf course were there. A few of the guys who worked at the golf course, or the golfers, or the staff of the event. Everyone was just in this great big hall, and we all just got pissed. And I got exceptionally drunk that night. And the event was winding up for the night, and everyone was sort of, I looked around at some point and everyone was making out with someone. And I was like, well, I want to make out with someone. So I looked around and there was one guy left who I sort of recognised was sort of new, and he was lame. He was such a lame dude, but I was like, I don't care. I want to get it. So I was like, I don't even remember. I just went over and started making out with him, and he was like, well, yeah. And he said, do you want to go back to my place? And I was like, drunkenly, yeah, sure. Off we staggered into the night, and we walked past the line waiting for the taxis, and, a bunch of people cheered for us because I was very clearly down to clown. And
So what they were watching was a very drunk woman stumbling home with a man and they cheered.
Look, it does. The more I'm telling the story, the more problematic it's seeming. But I'm going to say he was obviously very drunk as well, and I was very consenting. There's no, doubt about that. There may have been, you know...
I mean, you remember it all, so that's something.
Yeah, there may have been, as a bystander, you may have thought, oh, you know, but no, I was keen, yeah. So, anyway, so he's walking back to his house and fuck, it took forever. And I'm in these stacked high heels, tiny little dress, stupid amount of hair extensions. and I'm like, oh, let's just do it. So we started pulling each other's clothes off. Fell down in the middle of an oval, like there was this big wide oval. It was dark, it was night, we started ripping each other's clothes off and going for it. And suddenly, a few minutes in, bang, 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 all of the oval lights went on, like big stadium lights just lit up the whole oval. And we've just like naked, stark naked, clothes everywhere, looked up at each other and be like, and we were like, started, you know, sort of half laughing, be like, oh, okay, let's start grabbing our clothes. And as we did, we looked across and there are these two cops running across the oval as fast as you could see them, just power pumping. And we just started laughing, grabbed our clothes, still mostly naked at that point. I think he'd like pulled his pants up and I pulled something down or up and we just ran. And I don't think we outrun the cops. I think we, you know, they could have caught up to us, but I think they realised we were moving on and let us just...
Why were they running at you?
Because we were fucking on a public oval, I suppose, and the lights were on and we were probably causing us. People might have complained. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
But they were coming to, you know, and we ran. I think they realised we got the hint, and so they stopped chasing. I'd say pretty quickly. We didn't stop to look. Anyway, so I'll tell the rest of the story while I'm here.
Okay.
So we got to his place, and he promised me that he would drive me home. Now, I didn't put two and two together about how drunk he was. I didn't think, well, he can't drive. I was drunk enough that I didn't really care. Got back to his place, did what we did, and then he goes, oh, I can't, I'm too drunk to drive, sorry. And I said, well, I've just fucking followed you all the way to your house. What do you fucking mean? Like, are you kidding me? And he's like, no, sorry.
I mean, I'm glad he didn't.
I know, but I was like, can you help me out for a taxi? This is back before Uber and stuff, you know.
Yeah. And
I don't even think I had the cash for a taxi at this stage. Like, I think, you know, it's not a wealthy young woman. And I was like, well, what the fuck am I going to do? And so, I don't know, some girls that he knew were there, and he lived in a share house. There were a bunch of guys and girls. And the girls said, oh, look, we'll take her back to where she's staying. It's really sweet of these girls, yeah. So I was pretty pissed off at him by that point because he made no effort to help me or to do that. So, you know, the whole time we'd been at this golf festival, he talked about how much he loved his Superman belt, how cool his belt was. Oh, he loved his belt. So I stuffed it in my handbag, pulled my handbag over my shoulder, and off I got in the car. So these girls are driving me back to this, where I was staying, and they're like, oh, he keeps calling and he's asking where his belt is. And I said, why the fuck would I take his belt? I don't care about his belt. I don't have his belt. And they're like, I'm thinking, fuck, I hope they don't say, like, check her bag. Because I'm like, you're not checking my bag. And anyway, they keep asking, he's sure. Like, you don't have his belt. And I'm like, why would I take a belt? Like, he's stupid? And, you know, they dropped me off. And I got upstairs and I stood on the balcony and I threw his belt into a tree. Fuck you, Ian. So that was another, you know, party sex event thing. That was quite eventful.
Yeah.
Maybe a funny story, maybe entertaining. Maybe people are going to think I'm a criminal now because I took the guy's belt and threw it in a tree, but he was a jerk. Anyway.
But he was a jerk. He wouldn't drive me drunk.
No, he wouldn't. Like, he promised me things he couldn't. You know, shut up. I was 20, okay?
Yeah, fair.
I was a baby. And very reckless and wild at the time, so... but otherwise, all of my other sex in my life has been quite normal.
Sure. Okay, my other festive sex story was our wedding. So I'm looking at Mr. Love to see if he knows what story I'm going to tell. No, he does not. The night before our wedding, we had we called them carnies, but they were what you would call like bridesmaids and groomsmen. Our little group. So it was me and my now husband and all our best mates. Basically, we all stayed at my mum and dad's house. They had a much larger house and lots of bedding options. So we all stayed there the night before, and then we had to go to the venue to set up early in the morning. So, you know, the night before, obviously, being me, I had issued everyone schedules, everyone had little packs, and everyone knew what they had to do at any given time and all of that. And one of my friends, one of our carnies, she is I haven't seen her for years. It would not surprise me if I found out that she had been given a diagnosis as being on the spectrum. She was very, would do things by the letter, which I love. I'm a big fan of that. I can't remember what the timings were, but we had to wake up at, say, 7 a.m. or whatever. So Mr. Love and I, not then Mr. Love, he was fiancé Love or whatever at the time, technically. I don't understand how these things work. So we had woken up. It was the morning of our fucking wedding, so obviously we started having sex. And because, you know, like, that's not, like, it's peak romance. Like,
Sure, but I don't think... I think technically it's like you're not supposed to. Are you? I think you're supposed to spend the night in separate rooms.
yeah, but that's fucking weird.
Ah, okay.
So obviously we didn't do that. So, so we started having... But if people knew you were in the same room, you would expect that they might be having sex.
Yeah, I would.
Exactly. You would.
Yeah,
You would.
I would have sex.
She did not. Well, you would have sex and you would expect them to be having sex.
I mean, I expect everyone to have sex all the time.
Anyway, so we were, like, maybe it was like 10 past 7 or something. So we were running slightly behind schedule, and this friend of mine, like, knocks on the door, and we're doing, you know, we respond with those, yep, just a minute, you know, that voice.
Yes.
But she's quite... really didn't get up on didn't get the hints. And I think she's quite, like, she also, I mean, I know at that time she was, I think, maybe 25-ish, had never had sex, I don't even know if she'd really kissed a boy, like, so pretty clueless about that sort of thing. So then she opens the door, she's standing, and it's quite dark, you know, so she's standing in the door, we're literally mid-coitus, and we're just like, we'll just be there. We'll just be a second. And she's like, it's 7:10, guys. It's 7:10, you know. And we're like, it's all good. We're just, no worries, babe. And she's like, so, you know, it just went on and on. Well, it felt like forever. I'm sure it wasn't that long, you know. Anyway, so eventually she leaves, and we're just like, Jesus Christ, just let us have a fuck on our fucking wedding day. Like, Jesus. Anyway, what was quite amusing was that later on we told her what had happened. She had no idea. She didn't pick up on a thing. I was like, we were literally fucking at that moment. His dick was inside my pussy, and she had no idea.
That's really cute.
Really cute.
So... I'm assuming you didn't really get... the mood was lost in that moment.
Oh, there wasn't much. I don't even know if there was much mood. I think we just woke up, we're like, we're going to get married today. Let's have a quick fuck. Like, it wasn't a big romantic thing. But...
A really personal question, because you know I love those.
Okay.
After the wedding and the massive events of a wedding day, which is so exhausting, can be such a long day, did you guys do the sex after?
Yeah, we did have sex, actually.
Oh, we did.
We talked about that. And we went... because we thought, like, we were absolutely exhausted.
Yeah.
We were so tired. Yeah. And we kind of talked about it, and we were like, do you want to have sex? And we're like, I'm pretty tired. And we were like, yeah, but let's just do it. I don't know. We were like, let's just do it anyway.
I approve.
So we did that in our own bed. That's where we were that night. We went back to our own bed. Well, actually, it was my own bed at my parents' place, but it was my, you know, my childhood bed. So, but yeah, no, we did. We figured... we just got married, like, why not? We spent all day celebrating how fucking great the two of us are. Let's do it. All I remember is because I had worn a corset, and I had the red marks all over my body. Yeah. Sorry, don't remember the sex.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's
just
what you remember about the
yes.
Wow.
I remember we were tired, and as we were doing, I remember us being like, yeah we're really tired. There you go. So we're not really talking about Christmas anymore, but we're still talking about festivities.
Festive sex,
celebrations, etc. I feel like you have a game for me.
I do have a game for you.
We're going to end things with a fun little game that Holly just came up with 30 minutes or just before we started recording.
I have some film synopses here. I have 2 porn films and a real Christmas film. And I'd like you to guess which one is...
Are you saying that porn films aren't real films? Porn work is real work.
Yeah, true. Good point.
But I know what you're saying. Yes.
Is the non-porn film. So you have to guess which one is the
not porno.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, let me just lightly edit this.
Okay. Well, what I'll do in the meantime... So Holly was looking up Christmas porno synopses for this little game, and I was like, oh, I'll play the game too. But I just failed and wasn't able to play the game. But I did find this one synopsis, which was really involved, and I just thought I might do a dramatic reading of it, because why not? Dun, 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 dun. It's doing intro music.
I like it.
Thank you. It's Christmas time. A calm... peaceful time full of expectation. The quiet strains of jingle bells mix with the pleasant smells of homemade sweets. Father decorates the Christmas tree, and his daughter Jane helps him. The other daughter, Hannah, plays the violin. Unfortunately, her music is dreadful. You can hardly bear to listen to it. Even her mother's smile disappears. Only the maid, as maids do, has an unreadable face. They all fast. You have to fast on Christmas Day. Otherwise, how could you see a dancing fairy? But Jane is willful and cannot resist the tray of sweets. And the maid, when the young lady permits, even offers her some. But Hannah notices. And why shouldn't she tell her father about their misbehaviour? Jane's upbringing can't be neglected, even if it is Christmas. And if the flexible whistling rod can change the daughter's mind, why shouldn't it work on the maid? So both the sweet girls get their punishment, and their naked bottoms suffer some real beating. And that's not all. The mother does her bit too. She gives the girls a proper enema. Its insertion in their whipped bottoms make a great impression. What a lovely Christmas day. But Jane plots revenge. And you'll learn in the movie what she and the maid prepare for her sister. We can only reveal that Hannah doesn't escape a proper beating with the rod either. And that's not all. She has to pee in the potty, and after the beating. And then the hated ginger root comes into play. Imagine how much it stings, how humbling it is to kneel like this in front of the others. A most ordinary Christmas in an urban family. Don't you think it's worth seeing it? We wish you a pleasant time watching the movie and a, quote, Merry Christmas feast, close quote. I don't know why that's in quotation marks. The DVD version includes exclusive gallery and interviews with actresses before and after caning. And that is the plot of The Christmas Quiet. It doesn't even make sense. There are some good names. I liked Electro Sluts Christmas, Spreading Joy. Do you get it? Because her name's Joy.
So good.
Fuck Me Like an Elf. I don't know what the traditional way of being fucked like an elf is, but... Ooh, Electro Sluts 2, Christmas Slut Takedown. All I Want for Christmas is a Gangbang. Relatable. Ooh, Christmas Eva. You get it again? Her name's Eva. Oh, there's lots of XXXmas, which, come on, try a bit harder, guys. Yeah. Try a bit. Oh, Stuffing Her Stockings. You see what they did there? New Black Cheerleader Search 11. That doesn't seem Christmas related. Oh, Surfer Granny Does Christmas. That's got some combined themes. Christmas at Tiffany's. That's cute. That's cute. Her name's Tiffany. Mrs. Claus Hires an Elf Escort. That's good. I like promoting hiring escorts. Ooh, I won't say that one out loud.
This is a very weird episode.
I know.
It's fun.
It's a Christmas episode. Well, I'm waiting for her to finish her thing.
Guess which one is not a porno?
Okay.
Eric and Carrie gather to be with her gravely ill father and his live-in maid during the holiday season. A group of mysterious guests begin to arrive, claiming to be their father's friends. One by one, the guests are murdered. Who will survive?
Okay, so I'll bring you in on my thought process. Maid, that's a trope. You know, that's a sexy thing. Death tends to be less sexy, but there is that thrill. There's the So that's where I'm at.
A woman escapes the city in favour of her small hometown, finding herself falling for a rancher, but he's not what he seems.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh,
That's all you
okay.
get for that
Well,
one.
that definitely could be a porno. Definitely.
Veronica will stop at nothing to get her way, which includes shooting her business partner just days before Christmas. Ethan's ex-girlfriend suspects she's up to no good and plots a scheme in order to expose their corrupt boss.
Oh, God. All of the death. I wouldn't have thought that there'd be so much murder involved in porn. Oh, fuck. I feel like the middle one is so... Like, there's just not much to go off there.
I can read a bigger synopsis there if you like. High-powered music executive is so desperate to sign the latest internet sensation to his label that he agrees to accompany his sister to a country wedding just to get the chance to meet him. But he also meets a beautiful small-town girl.
Ooh, I'm not good at this. I really feel like any of them could be pornos and any of them could be not pornos.
That's the fun.
That is the fun. Whenever there's desperate, if there's the word desperate involved, that always makes me think of porn. Because it's always like, what would you do to get what you want, you know? I think the first one is not a porno.
That is porno Survive the Night.
That shouldn't be a porno, though.
Shouldn't be. It sounds interesting. I feel like we should all get a copy.
Yeah, maybe we should have a viewing party.
Yeah. We could do like a watch party where...
Okay, okay. Then my next guess is the second one. The one with the rancher.
You'd be correct. Not the porno. Not the porno. That is called Hometown Holiday. It is a cheesy... falling in love, going back to your hometown Christmas movie.
Sounds terrible.
I'll
take the porno.
The other film with the corrupt boss is A Cold Night in December, which is a porno.
Wow. I had no idea there was...
So many murder.
Yeah,
porno
so
mystery.
Involved.
Really, yeah.
The only porno I've ever watched, like proper movie, was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Because I'm a huge Buffy stan.
Yeah.
I think we got a few scenes in, we really tried.
Yeah.
We got a few scenes into it and then we were like, okay, well, we need to stop now.
Yeah. I did
this isn't
Jesse Jane's Pirates. I watched that one, which is Digital Playground, I think. And Debbie Does Dallas. I sat down with a bottle of champagne one time and watched that from start to finish. And it was great. The bush, the themes. She's fucking a candle maker at one point. What's his name? I can't remember. Anyway, there's a name in... of the candle maker in Debbie Does Dallas that is so good. It's like Mr. Hard something, and I just loved it. I don't know. Hardwick! How do you know these things so well? Look at Mr. Love the porn
There's a boy
expert.
on the internet.
Anyway, Mr. Hardwick. And it seems so cheesy and typical porn, but it was really cute and made me laugh. Okay.
Lovely.
Yeah, otherwise I'm not much of a porn girl.
Well, I think that brings us to the end of our very strange Christmas episode.
I think it was a really cool episode. If you loved it, tell us. Tell us how great it was so that Jenna lets us do more unhinged Holly-sodes.
Yeah, because that was Holly's brainchild. So.
It's a Holly-sode. And you know what they say? This Christmas, wear holly.
Yeah, Christmas holly.
On your
That's
face.
a thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
It is.
Brilliant.
Are you saying it to me as if it didn't occur to me?
No, it just occurred to me, obviously. You don't really get Christmas Jenna, do you?
If you're lucky, you do.
If you're lucky, you get Christmas Jenna.
Lucky, yeah.
No, Jenna doesn't do anything on Christmas. She just is lazy.
Let's touch tongues. Thanks for joining us. We love you and we appreciate you bearing with all of our weird experimentations.
Yeah.
On this ride.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Please look out for us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Patreon. Our name everywhere is Somebody You Pod, as in podcast. Our Patreon starts at just $3 a month, and you can get all of our episodes ad-free and a day early, plus bonus episodes, behind-the-scenes action, bloopers, and more. Thank you for taking the time to listen to the voices of sex workers. And remember, somebody you love might just be a sex worker.